Alabama Crimson Tide. Hot quarterback battle going on right now, the most important in the country. Some would say kind of a prove-a year for Kalen DeBoer. What do you expect the win total to be set by BetMGM for Alabama this season?
So I went back and forth on this one. If it was me setting the line, I would lean towards Bama being at 9.5, just because I don't know who's playing quarterback there, but I think he's probably pretty talented. I don't know exactly what that receiver room or that line of scrimmage is going to look like, but I know it's going to be, good personnel. Maybe not good personnel relative to like the top tier of the SEC, but good enough to get them where they want to go. I would imagine Vegas has them closer to 8.5. What is BetMGM saying?
What is your official guess?
My guess is 8.5.
Well, your guess is correct, JD. We're 2 for 2. You're 8.5 on the money for Alabama. I know it's a quarterback battle. I know there's been some transfer portal stuff, but this number next to this logo to me is just jarring. I don't know if this is the telltale sign that this isn't Saban's Alabama, but 8.5 as the over-under, because I think we all know a 9-win season isn't cutting in Tuscaloosa, right? And that'd be them hitting their over. So it's just crazy to see that logo with the 8.5, man.
It is bizarre. Can you imagine a Saban team with an 8.5 over-under win total? That's just absolutely – that's nuts. That's nuts. But you look at what last year was, and quite frankly what the year before was too for Alabama. In some ways, like they were – I don't want to say fortunate to win 10 games last year, because that's not the case, but like there was definitely a path last year to them finishing with 9 wins at the end of the regular season. But I will say this, them being at over under 8.5 without knowing who the starting quarterback is going to be, without knowing what the offensive line is going to look like, without knowing exactly what they're going to look like 100% on defense, I feel pretty good going over on 8.5. If it was 9.5, as of today, I'd probably lean under. But with 8.5, man, the confidence for me lies in I think they've done the work when it comes to volume on the line of scrimmage. When I say that, like they have added a lot of new pieces, both via the transfer portal, from the high school level, on the offensive and defensive line. Now, what does that equate to? I don't know. But it's enough newness, it's enough fresh faces in that mix for me to have some optimism and say, okay, well, it can't be too much worse than it was a season ago. Like Alabama is still recruiting top 10 classes. They still have some pull in the transfer portal in terms of being able to attract some talent. It all comes down to them having enough support for the starting quarterback. That's the other thing for me with Bama that's tricky to evaluate. As good as Ty Simpson was last year, he carried them to the college football playoff with no run game and very questionable run defense throughout the entirety of the year. Not saying the defense was bad, but I don't think it was nearly up to what the standard is in Tuscaloosa over the course of the last couple of years. The reason why I feel good taking the over with Alabama in this situation right now, Kalen DeBoer, as an FBS head coach, so it was phenomenal in his pre-FBS era as a head coach in college football, just purely as an FBS head coach, is 57-17. 57-17. He's made the college football playoff now with 2 separate teams. And I know that it's kind of jarring for us to be where we are with Alabama regarding an over-under 8.5 win total and, them having missed the college football playoff 2 years ago and then getting mollywopped last year by Indiana. I just think so much of our vision around Kalen DeBoer and Alabama right now, as much as it's fair to say I want to see them be better on the line of scrimmage, because I've said that many a time, I think some of our assessment of them is a little bit clouded by the fact that Indiana was awesome last year and they rolled through not just Alabama, but just about every single team they played in the college football playoff until they got to the national championship, including Oregon. I think it's also a little bit clouded by just like how tough it is to win right now in modern college football. Not just the college football playoff, but the SEC, like roster retention, having the proper depth to do what you need to do to go run the table in the SEC. Like I think it's never been harder to win in the regular season and postseason in college football. So that over under win total, a little bit jarring. I feel good about them hitting the over on 8.5. Biggest question for me, what I've said for the entirety of the segment, is our quarterback awesome is a part of the question, but even more importantly, like, does it matter that our quarterback is awesome? Because Ty Simpson was great last year, but if he wasn't great, Bama could have been an 8-win team last year. Like, he did everything in his power to carry them to the college football playoff, and even then, there was some massive question marks around Bama once they got there, and you saw what it was when they played a physical outfit in Georgia in the SEC championship game. Dinged up Bama, I hear that, but as a part of it for sure. Biggest game on the schedule for me, at LSU November 7th. Looking at how Bama's schedule shapes up, they could go into that game with 2 losses. Could go into that game with 2 losses. If you get a third loss in the 12-team playoff era, history says you're out. So that could be a put up or shut up kind of time for Kalen DeBoer in Alabama in this 2026 season. With it being in Baton Rouge, probably at night, with it being Bama LSU, that is the gut check kind of game, I think, for Alabama. And excited to see what they look like here when they get rolling, though. But Cato, I'll take the over to getting me 8.5 from BetMGM, but 9.5 feels like a number we could see that total creep up to if we start hearing really good things about Keelan Russell and maybe we get a blind transfer or two in Tuscaloosa. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, man. I think not only the LSU game, but just the entire month of October, Alabama's going to have everything figured out. You have to have everything figured out before you play Georgia, because that stretch where you have Georgia, Tennessee, A&M, and LSU, that'll be make or break time. And we know the quarterback position battle is highly contested. I got my eye on week 2, man. I think going to Kentucky and not having, like you mentioned, like on paper, this isn't one of those Alabama rosters we look at that's just littered with NFL talent, like one of the best rosters in the country. Like, we're not kind of holding it in that esteem. So the relationship between the roster and the quarterback and the push-pull there, I think puts a lot of pressure on a road game week 2 against an SEC opponent, new coach and a new program with new energy and an offense that you can't really scout. It's going to be a problem for the defense. Could be a problem for a new starting quarterback. So to me, I don't feel comfortable taking the over and under right now. I need to hear more about the quarterback competition, and when we get down the line, maybe we'll make our definitive picks on the over-under. I could even see the line moving honestly, if enough good word comes out of Tuscaloosa at the quarterback position. But man, I think 8.5 again. It's just so jarring to see that with the Alabama logo, and I can't picture them being a 8-7 win team. So I'd lean with you on the over, but I feel a lot better about it if I heard some good stuff out of Tim Watts and the folks at Bama Online for sure this offseason.
And part of me is wondering, too, like, Kalen DeBoer is a good enough coach. It can't be as bad as it was last year on line of scrimmage, right?
No.
Like, I know it was so bad last year. It was so un-Bama-ish. It can't stay that bad, right? But then you're also like, well, how much worse is your quarterback position? Because Ty Simpson was incredible. So I'm with you. Would like to hear more, but we'll see what that total looks like here as spring progresses.